Hey, what's up, everyone? I wanted to highlight a recent publication of the Expanded Universe Library, Volumes 1 and 2, A Fan's Guide for the Fans, Volume 1 covering U.S. novels in paperback, Volume 2 covering young adult books by Carlos Valderrama. Saw this recently shared on Instagram, found them available for sale on Amazon, and I think they're still available as of the upload of this video. I highly encourage picking these up. It's basically one fan's attempt to visually record in publication order their Star Wars EU collection, beginning here in 1976, with their own edition, the first printing, and its cover with the publisher's, advertising, marketing blurb here, and basic information about its timeline and era and everything else. These are this author's actual collection, and these aren't images drawn from anywhere else except his bookshelf. So these are photographs of his actual collection. And again, he's very honest about, in this case, he's got the first printing of Star Cave, but in this case, a much more widely published book, he's got the 35th printing, and this is its cover. Pretty cool. Goes all the way through to 2015 because in service of wanting to capture all the U.S. novels in paperback of the EU, you need to go well into 2015 to get some of those final books that were published only with the Legends banner in paperback. In the case of young adult books, which is a tricky thing to define, he does a really neat job of including even things like this right from the start. This is the sort of the Marvel New Hope comic adaptation that was released in mass market paperback size, and then we move through to some of the actual novelizations, the young readers edition, right, because this is the young adult focused book. One thing I think he's missing here is the Splinter of the Mind's Eye young readers edition, which I've covered in a previous video. I love that he includes this, the Contemporary Motivators Pendulum Press books, short little comic quasi-adaptation of events of the New Hope. I've covered that in a previous video. This is something I think I've talked about as well. All these fun sort of early adaptations. Again, more of the Marvel adaptation, more of the young readers editions, some of the storybooks. This is something I've talked about on one of my earliest Star Wars videos, where for years was one of the only places you could get some early Star Wars comics that have now been, since been reprinted many places. Moving along, we've got more storybooks, more source books. Then we move into the early 90s. We're finally getting the Jedi print series. And what I like about this is that, again, given that it's publication order, you can see here he's got, indeed, the earlier 90s first editions of these things. They actually change, and the dead giveaway is where the titles are placed, and you'll see in a couple of pages how that changes when they're reprinted. Love that he has these RPG books here. More there, The Lost Jedi. He's got the young reader classic Star Wars branded sort of adaptations of the original trilogy, more Young Jedi Knights. Highly recommend this book for your collection. It's a great checklist for people interested in going through publication order. Got Galaxy of Fear. It's got some of those little mini books people might have seen before. More Galaxy of Fear, more Young Jedi Knights. And again, I like that it's kind of weave in and out because this is all publication order. And here's what I mean: a couple years later when they reprint them, you can see the titles are in different places, which is the dead giveaway about which edition you've got. Jumping ahead just a little bit, we get into some of the Clone Wars era. We've got some of the, of course, we got Rebel Force. We've got some of the Decide Your Own Destiny Clone War era books. He's got a nice little index in the back for easy reference. Really, really appreciate the work he put into this. More Clone Wars adaptations, some of those Ryder Wyndham books, some of the secret missions, and finally that sort of singular scholastic kind of one-off they did, the Darth Maul Shadow Conspiracy. Would love to see something like this for, more of the categories of EU storytelling from, let's get box covers from video games, let's get the RPG source books, let's get magazines. There's so much more to cover, but bless this author for putting this together. Great glimpse into his collection. I love the work he did putting it in publication order. It's a really cool resource. Very glad to have this. Highly recommended. Please check it out.